Last week, Inzoi came into early access. It is a new live sim and a direct competition to games like The Sims. And pretty much only The Sims, because there is not a lot of live sim games out there. The Sims has really controlled that market for over a decade now. And I've been playing Sims 4 ever since it came out, and buying the DLC for it, and I've enjoyed it. But one thing I've always wanted is a competition for The Sims. Because especially with The Sims 4, we have seen some drop in quality. It has already started around Sims 3, with the game being just downright broken, especially later on, and especially with some of the expansions. But Sims 4 came with a very rough start, and it's only in recent years that it has started notably improving, and even then they still have some major issues, including an expansion pack that just breaks your game. I mean, the 4 Ant expansion pack came out a while ago and it still has some absolutely game-breaking bugs. And when it released, it was not good, and it is to this day known for being potentially the cause for save corruptions. So EA has not done a great job with the Sims series. While the series has definitely its charms and I enjoy playing it still, and I tend to play it at least a few times a week, there is a lot of issues and they could do so much better. And therefore, we want competition. There are 2 notable games coming out which are seen as the possible Sims killers. One of them is Paralives, which is still in development and has not reached early access or release yet. And then there is Inzoi, which came into early access last week. It is developed by Inzoi Studios and published by Crafton Inc. It is more of a realistic look. It looks frankly amazing. It does have a much higher system requirements than The Sims, but they seem to be trying to knock that down a little bit. But the game itself looks amazing. It comes with some interesting AI technology, plenty of live stages, weather, and future animals later on in the early access. You can currently live with your Zois, which are your Sims in this case, in 2 different cities. And when you're playing it, it controls differently from The Sims. Here you can actually directly control the Zoi with the WASD keys, actually making them walk around, giving it a very different experience. I have messed around a little bit in Inzoi to see what it is like, and right now I think it's a good start to what could be a great live simulation game. Being in early access, it definitely has its issues and bugs and just general scuffiness. And it honestly feels a little bit empty. Well, there is plenty of really neat things to do. For example, you can actually commit crime and end up in prison, which is rather fun. So far for me, it still feels rather lifeless. But according to the developers, there is still a long way to go to actually finish up the game, and plenty of features to be added, and what they've added so far is quite neat. But with the early access of Inzoi came the usual talk about the Sims killer. And I think there is no discussion point that does a game more disservice than the whole Sims killer debate. The Sims is a 20-year-old franchise with a really strong player base and a lot of good things. And Inzoi is not aiming to be The Sims. And the more they are talked about as the Sims killer, the more people start comparing them to The Sims and wanting it to just be The Sims. Which isn't really a good thing, because Inzoi is on its own a very interesting experience and an interesting live simulator. And we should allow it to just be that. And I personally want both of the games to actually exist on the market. The more competition we have in the live simulator market, the more good games we're gonna get. One of the main issues for The Sims is simply that they have been allowed to be alone for so long, with pretty much no competition, that they can do whatever they want. And I mean, where else are their players gonna go? There isn't anything else. So they can feel pretty safe that their players are just gonna hang around and keep on playing the game. Or at least there is no other proper live simulator game to go play. The Sims is really the only option for this specific niche. And that is why I want more games in this, but I don't want them to kill The Sims. I am not looking for a Sims killer, I am looking for a Sims competitor. I want a strong competition in this market, so we can see some great development and evolution of these games. The day Inzoi went into early access, the Sims team tweeted out, kind of welcoming them, so it's quite clear that EA is watching Inzoi. The Sims team is watching Inzoi and what they do and what is happening. And I think the better Inzoi does, the bigger kick is gonna be to the Sims team's butt to do better. And that's what I wanna see. And just the same, I want Sims to do good, to encourage the Inzoi team to keep on doing great and to do better. So I hope it's not the Sims killer. It still though leaves me a little bit worried because we saw what happened with SimCity. The last SimCity game came out just before The Sims 4 released. It did not do very good. Then City Skylines came out, giving the player base everything they wanted in a city building game. And we have not seen a SimCity since. Except on mobile, which barely counts. It's not really what we're talking about. So I hope this is not the Sims killer. I hope this is a great competitor. And I hope EA actually takes it as a good competition and decides to do better. But we will see. We can always hope for the future. But tell me, what do you think? Have you tried Inzoi? Do you have fun with it? Do you play Sims? Do you prefer that? Is there something in one game that you would like in the other? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And while you're down there, do the good YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, you know the things. And in the end, all I want to say is takk fyrir að horfa og the yndislegan dag.